Talkness Monster podcast.
Talkness Monster.
Yeah, we're live here with Eric Akiskalian. He's a father. He's a big wave toe surfer, and he is the guy that pretty much helped start big wave surfing, like
toe surfing.
Toe surfing, that is. So super stoked to have you on, Eric. I'm just trying to get the camera situation under control here.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
a lot of technical stuff going on behind the scenes.
I'm hitting the wrong button.
A lot of moving pieces and parts that Casey has to put together.
All right, got it all situated there.
Yeah, let's get this going.
My brain's a little.
How's your day going, Casey?
My day's going great.
Good.
My brain is.
Thanks
puzzled.
for being here with us today.
I made like 12 million Instagram reels today, and my it's too much for the brain.
Wait, what are you drinking right there? It's a bubbly.
Yeah, this is just a regular bubbly, non-alcoholic.
Okay, just want to make sure you're straight.
Oh yeah, I'm straight. All right, I'm straight as an arrow. So hey man, we just got you down here for a little swell.
Yeah, we had a little one-day swell. Ollie Richardson and myself, we took the ski out and dusted off the cobwebs, did some step off some toes, and punched through the beach break a little bit here and there, and had a really good time. Conditions were glassy, clean perfection, PNW style. And yeah, we're just working towards the next swell. It was a good icebreaker. Felt good.
Yeah.
Had you up there in the drone with the drone, getting the shot. GTS,
man. That was going around in our little chat for. I kept seeing GTS. I forgot what it was. GTS. Oh yeah, I get the shot.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'd be a little sharper. I've been drinking this coffee with like lion's mane and like chaga, and I think maybe it's like I'm sharp for a little while, and then I use it all up, and then I'm just stupid for a while after that. I don't know. Chaga mushroom tea. But you just got a new ski. Tell us about your new ski. I'm kind of stoked about that.
Yeah, I got a brand new Yamaha 2022 FX SVHO, 280 horsepower, 1800 cc's, and the thing is a rocket. We call it the Cherry Bomb.
Wait. What is it? What's the model? I want to type it in. We should look it up.
It's a Yamaha 2022 FX SVHO, Super Vortec high output.
All right, I stopped at FX. I couldn't.
SVHO.
That should probably be enough. Let's see if we can.
It's a badass machine for sure.
Images.
It's the Lambo of skis.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, let's switch to I got too many windows here. What's going on? Which one?
You gonna pull it up?
Oh yeah, number 3. That's the one.
You need more help, more tech help.
Oh no, I did this just fine last time. My brain's just dead today. Yours is a little bit more like...
It's the black blue one on the bottom left.
Oh, this one?
I think so, yeah.
Look at that.
That's it right there, top right.
Oh, that's like a video. Ooh.
Yeah, and then it's fully equipped with the high surf accessories, the rescue sled, the seat and hood straps, the bow tow line, quick release, tow rope handle, all the good stuff.
Oh, man. I got to stop watching this, I think.
Yeah, that's it
right
there.
Before they decide to, like...
The Lambo of skis.
Kick us off or something.
You know, the one that you were shooting yesterday with the drone, getting all the air?
Dude, how'd it handle out there?
Oh, it was insane. Yeah, that ski works really good. Yep. It's good on the pickups. When you're on the back on the sled, you don't feel anything. So Ollie did a really good job connecting and putting everything together with the install.
Dope, dude. It looked like just... I can't even explain like how the way it looked. It's just glided because it was glassy out too.
Yeah.
It was super glassy.
Well, the footage that you got is something that I've never seen before with any ski. I think because of the ski, the way it performs, it actually handles and drives differently when it's photographed and videographed. Yeah, seriously, because it looks like it's on a carpet.
Yeah.
Just gliding right through everything.
Well, I have this shot of you and you're waiting for Ollie after he wipes out or kicks out of the wave or whatever. And so I'm trying to get these more creative shots of you guys while you're on the skis and you're doing everything. It's not just all about the surfer. And he gets onto the back of the
sled.
sled, and the wave is like just about to touch him, and then you jet off. Like, is that
He's got 3 seconds to grab that sled. That's what I tell him. It's a 3-second rule.
3 seconds?
Yeah. If it takes you longer than 3 seconds, the wave's coming down on you. So you better grab that sled and get on.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about so kind of how things began with you earlier.
The journey.
Yeah, a little bit of the journey.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you get up to the mic. I want to make sure we can hear you, especially for this awesome story. So, like, did you grow up in Lincoln City, or where'd you actually from?
I'm from Santa Barbara.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, Santa Barbara. So how'd you end up coming up to Lincoln City and getting into the surf scene and helping tow surfing become,
Yeah, so I started surfing when I was 9. After my parents got divorced, it was a good outlet, and it was something that I fell in love with, something that made me feel happy, and gave me an outlet to not think about what was going on at home. And that's what I wanted to do every day. I just wanted to surf, and through junior high and high school, surfing was number one. School was the last thing on my mind. And I was, always ditching school. I would take my mom's car, go surf. And that's kind of the way I grew up, was being very rebellious, but yet finding the ocean was my rhythm that kept me sane from it all. Then into high school, the story goes a little deeper. I started doing drugs and cocaine and drinking a lot, and smoking, and it was just one of those things that I fell into. Didn't have much parental guidance growing up. And when I graduated high school, I started dealing cocaine, and then I stopped surfing for a little bit and pretty much went on a bender for like 10 years. That's all I wanted to do was party, go out, drink, do cocaine, ecstasy, sell drugs, do whatever, go to the bars. And then I had a couple of search and seizures, one 502, and I consider myself pretty lucky because I never did anything to the point where I had to go do prison time or anything like that. I should have, but I got out of it. Parents always bailed me out. That's the number one thing that I can always remember, is my parents always bailed me out. And I think that was the wrong thing to do. I never learned my lesson early on, and I kept doing it and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And then one day I just woke up July 4th, 1987, after a 3-day bender, and I was just like, this is not the way I want to live my life anymore. I'm not going to do it. I don't surf anymore. I don't have any friends. I'm living in a Volkswagen van. This is just rotten. It's not good. It's not healthy. So I basically pleaded to God that morning, and I just prayed. I said, hey, I'm ready to give it all up. I want to start a new, fresh life. Whatever that life looks like, I want to start it today. And I've been clean and sober ever since. It's been like 35 years. And it's been an amazing, that was the first, door to the journey, was realizing that I had a problem, realizing that I needed help, and realizing that there was a better life for me out there.
So you got clean, and
I got back into surfing. I was 28. So I got back into surfing again. And back then in the day, I was surfing a lot with Chris Brown and Davey Smith, and I grew up in the Tommy Kern era and all that. And our spot was Rincon and Tarantulas, Central Coast. Halama was T Point. That was our big wave spot. So whenever it was 10 at 17, we were getting 20, 25-foot faces. We take our 10-foot boards out there and we just fucking charge. That's what we did. We had a blast, and it was just us. And Davey and I got to a point, we were both like about 34, 35. We're all, dude, let's go surf Mavericks. We're ready.
Yeah.
Right? We're ready.
Yeah.
Enough of this tarantula stuff. We can do it. And we went up there November 6th, I think, in 1996 was our first time. And it was bombing. It was just like 20 foot, perfect. Everybody was out. The media circus was out. Everybody was on the cliffs. And I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? And I never got a wave, obviously. I sat way out the back. I paddled out and paddled back in. But I sat out there and I watched it, and I go, God, I don't know if I really want this. I don't know if I can paddle into this. There's got to be another way. There's got to be a better way, This is just, maybe I'm getting started too late in life to get into the big wave paddle scene, because I'm watching these guys and what they're doing, and it's just crazy, right? You know what? You see it going down. And so I ended up paddling in. Everything was fine. Davey sat inside. He got cleaned up on his set. His board went through the rocks. And, we both went home and just went, shoot, we need to reevaluate this situation a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
here, get that mic a little bit more toward you. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, bring it to you.
All right. But the story goes on like this. So after that session, we went back home and we did another tarantulas paddle session one morning. And Davey was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and there was a new surfing magazine, and on the cover of the mag was Laird dropping in at Jaws, Piahi, on like a 60-foot wave. They're all, yeah, toe-ins, toe surfing. I'm like, that's it. That's what clicked. I went, Davey, we're going to do that. We're going to tow. I don't know where, when, why, or how, but that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. That's how we're going to ride the biggest waves.
Yeah.
And 2 years went by. We didn't do anything with it. We just kept talking about it, but we didn't know where to begin. We had no idea. There was no one there to teach us. So one day in October 1998, if I remember correctly, Peter Mel and Skin Dog Collins ended up towing giant 40 to 60 foot Mavs. And I was paddling Rincon that day, and it was like solid 6 to 8 foot perfection. And I'm walking back up to the parking lot, and everybody's going, yeah, they just towed at Mavericks. I'm going, yes, there's tow surfing in California. So that was it. I knew now we could probably do it. We just had to go and start by getting a ski and getting all the equipment and trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me switch the camera here.
He's still having technical difficulties.
We have Hayden Elliott says, Oregon surfers for the win. And Sarah Bishop, I greatly appreciate honesty when people are truly authentic, sharing their life stories. And she says, thank you. You're
very welcome. I believe in transparency. Always. That's the best way in life.
Yeah, man. Like, this is a cool story, because I've heard your 2010 stories, a couple of different times, like with Phil's movie, Journey to the Reef. And then I think you told a little bit of that story when I did a mini doc with you. But I haven't heard this. You tried to surf Mavericks, and then how you got into the tow surfing from there.
Well, it's a process. I mean, I was motivated by Laird's cover shot. Then I was motivated by Peter Mel and Skin Dog actually doing it.
Yeah.
And so the process from there was like, okay, so how are we going to do it? But in 1996, my father passed away unexpectedly, and then my sister passed away because of drug and alcohol abuse 2 years later after that. So my life was just like, I was just confused about what I was supposed to be doing in life. I'm 36 years old. I'm single. I'm not married. I have no kids. I don't have a job really, because I am a silver spoon kid growing up. Never learned how to support myself. I was a drug addict recovering. But yet I had this passion for something that I had no idea how I was going to attain it. I didn't know where to go to get any experience. I didn't have anybody to look up to. I couldn't just go knock on Laird's door or Peter Mel's door. So it was a matter of doing something for myself for the first time and taking charge. And so I found that tow surfing was a means for me to take charge of my life and do something for myself that nobody could do or give to me or ever take away from me throughout the whole process. So I bought a ski, actually got a sponsorship from Yamaha right out the gate, saved myself like $2,500. I'm a car salesman, so I sold myself. I sold Davey as a package. We're a tow team out of California, and we're new. We're the only ones out of Santa Barbara. We're going to do this. We're going to go surf some giant waves. I guarantee it. That was my goal. I was 40 years old when I started towing.
Really?
40, okay? And I maybe surfed Mavericks a half a dozen times, no bigger than 10 to 12 feet, nothing to speak of. And even to this day, I'll never go out and paddle that. I'm 62 years old. Why would I do that when I can just grab a rope and ride the biggest wave of my life? So,
dude, that'd be sketch.
Yeah,
that's a sketchy spot. I've just hiked out there before, and I saw it like on a double overhead day, and it just dumps.
Yeah,
it just dumps like it's gonna push you down to the fiery pits of hell.
So the process in learning how to drive a ski started in Ventura Harbor with Davey Smith, Paul Schulte, Chris Brown. And I remember the first time I put on a rescue sled, you're supposed to put the sled on the back of the ski right here. Well, I had the sled like this.
Oh, really?
And so when I was going forward, the sled was getting pulled underneath.
I was digging down.
Yeah, I was digging down.
Yeah, you're submarine.
And dragging. I was going, what is going on here? You know, I mean, again, trial and error. And I had to teach myself everything that I didn't know and figured it out. And one thing led to the other, and we got it right. And before you know it, we started towing up Central Coast, Morro Bay area, found some nice waves up there. You know, got legitimately my first 20-foot wave. And I remember getting the shot. I was like, oh my God, I'm hooked. I did it. I was so stoked. I remember I got the shot of me in the water. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's awesome. You know, it was such a good feeling because I did it myself. You know, I gave myself a gift in life, you know, by being committed and just following the dream, starting to keep the dream alive.
Dude, I can't imagine how it feels like being on a 20-foot face and not having to paddle all the way out and wait and be in that lineup ready for one to go on your head, or maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get a big bomber. And then so you got that 20-foot wave. Did you just keep going, or was it like that?
So what happened was I started a website called toesurfer.com in that same period, and it was to promote ourselves. And that actually kind of backfired. This is a funny story because everybody started going, who are you guys? I mean, really, you're going to promote yourself? You're surfing 10-foot waves, towing into 10-foot waves. You guys can't you don't even know what you're doing. Yeah. Like, this is a joke. Yeah. Like, literally. I'm like, you know what? The guy's right. I need to turn it around. I need to start promoting everybody else that's in the business and in the industry and all the big names. I need to go to all these big wave spots and surround myself with the very best in the world and have them show me the ropes so that I can learn from them the right way instead of the wrong way, which was my way, because my way was always the wrong way. So that's what I did. I traveled the world. I went to all these big wave spots, and for whatever reason, I was accepted in most of the areas that I went to, and always got the best waves of my life wherever I went. But I was promoting them, you know, and I was promoting their location and their families and their friends and their way of life. And that was more accepted than obviously promoting yourself. So, you know, you have to be humble in this sport. Like in life, you know, it's humility. You have to learn. It's a fine balance between the two. Like, we all want to be recognized for what we're doing, but it's better if someone else recognizes what you're doing than you try to give yourself accolades for.
Yeah. So,
there's so much to this story.
I know. I was like, how did you? So you were up in Morro Bay surfing, and then where did it progress from there?
So, Peter Mel comes back into the picture a couple of years later. So this was in 2002. Craig Spuch went up to Nelscott, and he surfed it with Kirk Johnson for the first time. 2003, Peter Mel and Adam Rapolgo were up there, and then I saw all the footage. I'm like, okay, that's our next spot, Nelscott. And I went up there in 2004 with Chuck Patterson, who's a renowned waterman, tow surfer, skier. Guy's just a legit animal. And we went up there one day and we made the drive, and it was like 40-foot glassy perfection. And we were the only ones out. And that was my first real taste of a real big wave session. And that's when it all started, was at Nelscott.
About what year was that?
2004.
2004?
Yeah. 18 years ago.
And then how many people were surfing Nelscott then?
Nobody.
So you're just out there.
Yeah.
Like nobody's seen
prior
seen
years though, before that. Peter Mel was out before that.
Peter
2003, and then and Craig Spuch was in there 2020, 2001. And then from there the locals started catching on, you know, Dan and Ollie.
Yeah.
Tim, Builder, everybody every year progressed more and more, but I taught them everything that I knew, you know, sharing the knowledge. That's the most important thing. Share what you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody's towing right there. Like step offs weren't a thing. Like people are just getting jet skis and they're putting the sleds on, and or like how many, like, or is everybody using like 2 jet skis and they're like, hey, it's my turn. Like how'd that whole thing work?
I don't know exactly. I mean, I knew that whenever I went up there, I had 2 skis. So I always loaned out a ski to whoever needed one, you know.
Wow.
I spent a lot of time with Keith Galbraith, You know, we had the zone to ourselves for years and years. It seemed like we were always out there by ourselves. Chuck couldn't make it up all the time because he's in California, but I made the move up to Washington in 2005, so I was a little bit closer. So, you know, the 5-hour drive was easy. Just go.
Yeah.
You know, every swell. That was my goal.
So, gosh. So you guys had the whole place to yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't like eventually Nell Scott Reef it was on the big wave tour. When did that happen? Like, in that, I don't know how long that was.
You know, they've had a couple of contests and they try to do the tour stuff and independent producers and promoters. And I mean, we know all the stories back and forth, in and out. So it was never, there was one real legitimate contest that was on November 2nd, 2010.
Oh,
that was the paddle contest that Cole Christensen won, and that was the biggest swell in 20 years. That was the day that I got my wave on South Reef. Do you have that photo? You want to pull it up?
Yeah, let's pull up the photo here.
And that's a photo that Richard Hallman took while he was shooting the contest. And he glanced over to the side of his shoulder. He goes, "Oh, somebody's riding a wave." He snapped it.
Yeah, this is a freaking massive wave. And you have the...
So that was a Billabong XXL nominee that year. Everybody thought that we were going to win, but we did not win the contest that year.
A tiny little man on that giant wave. How big? What is it? South Reef?
I don't know. I mean, you can't. There's a wave in front of it, so I mean, it's anywhere between 55, 65 foot. But that day there were waves breaking 70 feet. Middle Reef was breaking on the outside. There was one set that came through that line closed out completely from South Reef all the way to Nell Scott Reef.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's your buddy.
And
back to that wave.
The technical difficulties. You'll have to excuse Casey and his butterfingers.
Oh man, I just want to see this closer.
The Richard Hallman photo.
Yeah, that's what I want.
So when I got that wave, it's like, okay, great. I'm 50 years old. I did it. I rode the biggest wave of my life, right? Now what? I didn't stop. I wanted more. I kept wanting more and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, that was the goal. It's like, where am I going to ride the biggest waves in the world? Portugal. I was going to say, wait a second. So did you actually ride? Yeah, but nothing big, maybe 25, 30 foot beach break, nothing giant. But so I had some health issues. So in I went to Portugal once in 2015, I believe it was, for Red Chargers. We worked on a film project, and I was basically just doing water safety and helping everybody out. And I never really surfed, which was fine because it was absolutely huge. In 2017, I had a heart attack, a slight little mishap. I had to have a stent put in one of my arteries. Yeah. So I went back to Portugal 3 months after my heart attack, and I just said, I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm just going to go do what I do. You know, I'm not going to worry about it. I feel fine. I'm healthy. I got a little hiccup, but nobody really wanted anything to do with me because I was a liability.
Yeah.
But it worked out for the right reasons. I mean, that's the place to be if you want to ride the biggest waves in the world.
So it's like, it's huge, obviously, but like it's, like if you compare it to like Mavericks, like a wave like Mavericks, it really dumps. It doesn't do that same, like it's different. Like I've seen
it doesn't break like the slab, but I mean, it's, so you know canyons, how it peaks up the way it does.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like, that's what happens in Nazaré. It's got a bunch of 80-foot peaks everywhere instead of 20-foot peaks. Yeah, and it breaks right on the beach.
Oh.
So they're not slabby, but it is top to bottom when it breaks. I was out there in October of 2017 on a ski, even though I wasn't surfing. I was on a ski when I was 80 foot and going in and out, through
what's that like?
The different peaks. And those are moving mountains. I can't even explain it. It's like being out at Nell Scott and South Reef with an extra 6 reefs around you, trying to dodge everything that's happening. So
does everybody that surfs there surf the same? And we're talking about Nazaré in Portugal, right?
Nazaré, Portugal. It's the same.
There's this documentary on Netflix,
100-foot wave, that Garrett McNamara is a part of that he puts together.
And so, is it the same spot, the same reef that they're all surfing?
It's not a reef; it's a beach break.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's right in front of the lighthouse. You've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right there.
It's a hard bottom.
It's
must
all
be
sand.
hard.
It's all sand bottom.
It's that sand.
Yeah.
But how does it keep breaking the same? Like, I'm used to Oregon waves where the bars change.
Yeah. Well, the bottom's different. I mean, it comes from deep water into a shallow area. You know, I mean, there's a canyon underneath that is supposed to be like ridiculously deep, and so when it comes in, it hits the shallow ends of the beach break. That's what jars the waves into the A-frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen that A-frame shots.
Yeah.
Of Nazare, and it's preposterous. I would love to go down there sometime and watch that. I mean, it's just hard to believe when you're not there.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same. Like even just watching here, like watching Nell Scott.
Yeah.
South Reef.
I mean,
Like,
our waves are huge up here. There's no doubt about it. I mean, South Reef, 65, 70 feet. There's nothing wrong with that.
well, you've told me that like there's like a outer reef.
Middle Reef.
Middle Reef. Dude,
Yeah.
that sounds so ominous.
Yeah.
Middle Reef.
Yeah. I've seen a photo of it. It's like 85 to 100 feet. And that means that everything is washed out all the way to the beach break. So getting out there would be the problem, you know, on a ski.
Because it's so far?
Because the river mouth and the beach break's probably closed out at 40, 50 feet. So getting through the beach break on a ski is almost impossible unless
That's crazy.
you time it right. And there's a lot of liability in that.
Yeah, how about even just getting in?
How about a helicopter drop off? That would be the way to do it. Chop us off
helicopter drop off
with the ski.
Helicopter pickup.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know, this is even just like in 2020 when we saw it.
Yeah.
Like South Reef was so big, and Will Scooten was crushing it, and you were out there riding these massive, like, I mean, that first wave that Drake got.
Yeah.
Drake's a jet ski driver from Mavericks.
Yeah.
And Half Moon Bay, and he was out there driving, and he got a shot of Eric getting this huge wave.
It was the first wave of the session. Yeah, and it was a 55, 60 foot proper face, and it just took me out. Yeah, took me out. I went down deep on that one.
We could pull it up too. I have the whole video.
Oh, that's okay.
There you go.
I mean, if you have it, but yeah, that was the 10-year swell. But Will got the wave of the freaking afternoon. That wave was a bomb. It was legit.
I don't know if I got that shot of that wave either, but when Russell was here, he kept arguing that wave was on the second day, like the foggy day, the really foggy day.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that was the first day, because that was the bigger day, the better day. And the second day, that it was all junky, and it was a super short sesh.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that wasn't that day.
No, because Gary Peterson, he's the one that got the shot, and that was that first day. Oh no, it wasn't. No, it was
Mark McKenna.
It was Mark McKenna. That's
from the
right.
channel.
And that was okay. That's right. No, I think Gary got the shot too.
Set the story straight.
He got the shot too, but it was just really far away. I remember because they both got that wave.
And props to Ollie for all the driving that he did. He was out injured. His knee was out. He was driving like a champ. He was putting everybody on bombs.
Dude, I was so bummed that he couldn't go though. He couldn't surf.
Yeah, but he did his job. He got everybody on waves.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work, dude. So let's go back to your story here. So I guess you started out with you're struggling in Santa Barbara. That was all in Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
And then after 3 days, I'm just kind of recapping, so I really make sure I understand this.
You can say it. It's all right. I was a cocaine addict.
I didn't want to say that.
It's okay. I loved my cocaine. I was very good at what I was doing, as a dealer, right? I knew how to manipulate people, lie to people, cheat people, steal from people. And that turned out not to be the right way.
Yeah.
In that instance, I knew it wasn't the right way, and I knew there was a better life for me. And I'm going to keep saying that there's always a better life for somebody who's out there struggling. You just have to recognize it within yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I didn't have anybody that I could ask for help because, my parents pretty much let me down. by spoiling me with the silver spoon. They always took care of me. Well, that was the wrong thing to do. And I'll say that over and over and over again. It was the wrong thing to do because it never allowed me to grow as a man, to learn how to take care of myself. And I remember later on in life too, they would just say, "Oh, you spent all this money we gave you and you did this and you did that." And I'm just thinking, what did you expect me to do? You gave it to me. I'm going to say no? I'm a fucking drug addict. I'm going to say yes. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, I mean, it's weird thinking back about how I used to be, I mean, it takes a long time to grow up emotionally and mentally after you've been using and abusing for so long. And there's people my age that are still doing it. I mean, I got out when I was 28. There's guys, in their 50s and 60s. And it's really sad to see how they're living their lives. They're not happy.
Yeah.
And there's no way out. They keep saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get sober. I'm going to get sober." Fortunately, today I know a couple of friends who are actually sober for like 8, 9, 10 months, almost a year. I've got 3 friends. I won't mention any names, and they're doing really good. And you know who you are if you're watching the show right now. So I'm very proud of you. It's not an easy task.
Yeah, I personally took a year off, 2012 to 2013, and that was like a crazy reset. Like I had actually gotten to the point where I could go with friends to the bar and I was drinking Shirley Temples.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
But you're putting yourself in the environment. That's the problem.
No, but I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
And I was fine with that. I didn't feel left out. That was the thing I would have been afraid of. It wasn't about drinking. Like I wanted to drink. I just didn't want to. It was a different thing. It wasn't the alcohol itself. It was like, I need to stop doing this for my mental health or whatever, my mental clarity.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of people that know how to maintain it and handle it and do it right. And, once here and twice there, whatever, no big deal. But I mean, everybody has a vice and everybody has a crutch, whether it's food, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever it is. There's only one person that can clean it up, and that's you.
Yeah.
You have to be committed to yourself. You have to be committed to good health, good life, be transparent, be honest, be kind, be loving. And these are all the things that I learned later on in life. And, surfing gave me the outlet to express myself and to feel like that I accomplished something on my own, as silly as that sounds. But I actually did it on my own. No one could ever take away the 25 years experience that I have in the ocean with big wave surfing, tow surfing, water rescues, jet skis, and all the crazy shit that I did all over the world with all these amazing people, and all the things that I learned. And now I have the ability to share the stoke, share my experience with other people that want to learn, because we're much greater and stronger as a group if everybody's on the same page when it comes to water safety. It's really important. And I think there's a lot of up and coming young men and women who want to be professional big wave surfers, and they're in a great position now because there's a lot of people ahead of them with a lot of experience, hundreds and hundreds of years of experience, and everybody wants to just share. And that's the beauty. I didn't have that when I was starting to tow surf. Had no idea.
That was also a special time because you guys were groundbreaking, surfing these waves that had...
Yeah, I was the first guy in Santa Barbara to tow surf the Central Coast. Me, David Smith, Paul Schulte, Chris Brown, R.I.P. Brownie boy. Brownie in the house, yeah. So my friend passed away, Chris Brown, 3 years ago, January 19th. And, he had his substance issues, and that's why we lost him. But he was an amazing human being and friend, and we had so many great sessions on the Central Coast. So, yeah.
Yes. So if you had any advice to help anybody else stay off of any kind of drugs or alcohol, I don't know, what would you say? What would you say?
Well, the first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself. Don't wake up and go, okay, I'm cool. I'm just not going to use or drink or whatever it is that I do for a couple of days, and have a couple of good days and go back and get back in the saddle. You can't get on and get off, get on and get off, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't do that. You got to be honest with yourself. That's the advice that I'd give. And if you have the right answer, the second step is getting help, asking somebody for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help, because you can't do it on your own, you know. For me, I found God. I became a born-again Christian, and that's what kept me sober and clean. So I was proud. I was proud that I had God on my side. And it's because of God that I'm here today, that I'm still alive doing what I'm doing at 62. I'm a grom on a jet ski and on a towboard on South Reef when it's going off at 62 years old. I can guarantee you I'm the oldest guy on the reef right now. Okay. That's because God's on my side, and I have faith and I believe in my Lord.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Appreciate that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, especially I think right now, because Oregon actually has, I had Mike Pace, Toledo police chief, on here, and we talked all about, you know, how I don't remember the exact measure, 110, 111 or something. Oregon basically decriminalized like every drug, like all of them. And so he was explaining that we didn't have the infrastructure to handle it. And right now Oregon has, at least at that time, which was like a couple months ago, we have like the highest drug number problems. You know, don't quote me. I'm not, you know, I don't remember. Basically, we're super fucked.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's
You've
dying.
got zombies walking in Oregon. I'm telling you. Every time I drive down here, there's tents up on the freeway, and there are people that look like they haven't taken a shower in 3 years. I was at Motel 6 in Redding when I was coming back from Mavericks, outside of Oregon. But I'm saying this is everywhere. And this woman, I mean, they got to let some of these homeless people stay in their hotels, right?
Yeah.
She had stuff growing on her skin. She had not taken a shower in over a year. It was the worst experience ever. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Why is this happening?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like a cascade of problems. It's the drug problem, and it's helping
the homeless problem.
Yeah. And then we don't have enough homes anyway. And then everything's expensive. That's all crazy.
You got everybody living in their cars. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, especially around here.
Everywhere.
Like, we have
with their children.
The motorhomes that keep catching on fire. Like, I want to do a documentary on that. I have to start capturing, because like for whatever reason they all keep burning up.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I'm saying. It's like people need to hear what you're saying, because it's like worst problem that's ever been. And it's like, if you got to find God to do it, then do it.
Yeah.
But,
well, the first step is just realizing being honest with yourself, and realizing that you have a problem. Just be truthful to yourself. If you're out there right now and you're somebody who's dealing with an issue like that, it's just don't be afraid. You know, it's time to take care of it now, and don't wait, because you keep waiting to start something fresh. You're going to be 10 years down the road, 15 years, and you're going to be like, God, let 10 years go by just like that. And time flies. Like, I mean, I've been clean for 35 years, whatever. I mean, it's a long time, but it went by so fast.
Yeah.
You know, there's one thing I want to talk about, and that is the addiction that I have for surfing. Okay. I lost my wife because of it, because I was very selfish in what my pursuit was with big waves. I wanted to travel so much, and I wanted to be accepted so bad that at any cost, I'd jump on a plane and go to the next swell and chase it down. And I was a terrible husband. I was a selfish husband. I loved my wife, but I didn't know how to be a true man. I wasn't a good husband. I was a great father to my kids, but I didn't know how to be a husband. And she got tired of it, you know. She said she had enough, and that's because of my surfing. That's because I was selfish and inconsiderate, and all I wanted to do was find the next swell. So we got divorced 7 years ago, and today she's remarried, and we're best friends. We get along really well. Probably better than ever, you know. I have grown. I actually thank her for divorcing me, because it pushed me to grow up even more and become a better man and a better father than I was before, and a better friend to my friends, and be more considerate, be more kind, you know, be more aware of my surroundings and what's going on with people. Have a little empathy for people when they're not doing so well, because there's a lot of people out there in this world that are suffering. You know, and just because somebody looks like he might be, or her might be doing good, you don't know what the real story is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like there might be something going on with you. I don't know, but you seem like you're doing good. Same with Ollie and everybody else, but we all have issues.
Yeah.
And the problem is everybody likes to mask it. A lot of people don't know how to talk about what's going on in their life. It's okay to be transparent. It's okay to be open and honest about how you're feeling and what you're doing. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask somebody for a hug if you haven't had a hug in a while.
Yeah.
It's just be real. That's all you got to do is just be real. And it's so hard to find real people these days. I got a small group of core friends that are family, that are real human beings. And the rest of the nonsense, I don't want no part of it. If you can't add to what my flavor is, if you can't accept what I'm giving you, why would we want to associate with each other? Doesn't work that way.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, that's kind of why I have this podcast, so I can have those real conversations with real people. And if it's hard to talk to somebody who isn't being real and doesn't really want to talk, like I can't script this podcast. Like we can kind of like have a general outline, but like if you talk from the heart, then you don't have to worry about what you're going to say. Like
I didn't come on here to talk about my surfing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about life and, why I am who I am and why I'm here today. I want to be able to touch one person, help one person understand that they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Just ask for help.
Yeah. Well, we actually have OG Sky watch. He says that this is a fentanyl epidemic. He's a long time buddy here. Awesome dude. OG Sky watch. Subscribe to his channel. And then it is surfing related, but Hayden Elliott wants to know where the best spot to get barreled is in Oregon.
Secret. I'll just say slab. That's all I can say.
How about I'll break it. I'll tell him.
No, don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Everybody knows about the seaside point. Come on, you can go to the point.
I want no part of the point.
Exactly, I don't go to the point either. Everybody knows, but you got to deal with the locals, and they're gonna hassle you. Plus, you got to be expert. Like it's for real. You could break over boulders, and so don't go there.
Yeah.
But maybe watch. But they'll get pissed if you take pictures, so don't do that either. But yeah, I don't. That place is dead to me. But yeah, I'm good. I just surf beach break. I love beach break.
Yeah.
It's good.
I surfed otters today.
How was otter?
Small, mushy. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Always like doing circles around me. Got like 10 waves. I tried to get up and fall on my face. It's cold. Got all these 7 mil booties on. It's like,
yeah,
it doesn't work for me.
Well, surfing has actually been a healing thing for me. Like I was engaged, and I thought I truly loved this woman, and then she totally didn't give a shit about me, actually, in the worst way, and a bunch of other shit happened, and it was like, two things saved me.
Yeah.
And one was podcasts. I could listen to podcasts. I just listen to people talk just like this.
Yeah.
And then surfing, it was like, because I had something to be stoked about. So I go, and I
surfing fixes everything. It really does. Just leave everything on the beach. Go out and have a good time.
Not your garbage. Don't leave your garbage on the beach.
Well, no, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. It just
I
like.
know. Just
to make that point, clean up your trash.
Like when I'm on the car lot and I got the salespeople, they come in to work and they're just bitching and moaning about their girlfriends and their wives. Well, dude, you're not going to sell nothing today. Just leave it on the curb.
Yeah.
Just come here with a clear head, because if your head's not clear, especially when you're surfing, you're not going to do it.
Yeah. Actually, Jerry Lopez quit drinking because he was all hungover.
Yeah.
I heard this is the story. He was all way hungover. He surfed like shit. Quit drinking.
Yeah. Well, of course. Who wants to surf hungover? Come on. I mean, really.
Yeah, totally.
Makes no sense.
It's the weirdest thing when you can get that bad where you wake up and you feel like total dog shit and then you do it again.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The older I get, like, I feel like eventually I may just...
Wait till you're 60, right? Like they asked me, how long are you going to do this? I don't know. I thought I was going to quit at 50, but I still had the drive. And then the 10-year swell came in 2020. I still have the drive. I still have the ability, mentally, physically, everything, emotionally. I can still do it. Why would I stop? Right?
Yeah, why not?
I would rather die in the ocean than die of cancer die in a car accident, anything like that. I'm just going to do it until I take my last breath. My bones hurt.
Yeah.
Everything, arthritis is setting in. It's harder to move. It's harder to get into a wetsuit. You feel it after a couple of days, but you just do it. You just keep out there and just keep moving. That's what you got to do.
I'm totally with you, man. Like, I don't ever really want to retire.
Yeah.
Because right now I in a way I really do what I love. I don't always get to pick the projects I get to work on, but
hopefully I can be inspiring to you.
Oh,
you're 34, right? Tomorrow. Happy pre-birthday.
Tomorrow,
yeah.
35.
Yeah, 35. Okay. So
Yeah.
you got 2 more decades, 3 more decades to keep doing what you're doing and polishing your craft.
Dude, I really appreciate you bringing up that whole life thing, because this is actually what I'm going through right now. It's like literally with video and tech and all that, which is kind of what I really love. It's like, it's hard to look at people who are like super duper successful and they're like, it's not about the money. It's being able to do what you love to do and have the freedom. And they have all this awesome gear and they can make all this really cool shit. And it's like, I can't just get to that. I mean, that's why I'm doing this.
Baby steps.
Exactly.
Baby steps. Somebody once told me when I was selling cars back in 25 years ago, 30 years ago when I started, they're all take baby steps to what you want to do. And every time I got to a new level, he's all, yes, see, I told you, baby steps.
Baby steps. Dude, that's
It's
good.
about the journey.
Yeah.
It's not about the end result. Don't ever think about the end result. Sure, have that goal.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. This is what I'm pushing for. But how are you going to get to that next goal? Like, I'm very goal oriented. My OCD kicks in. All he knows it. He hates this about me. But everything is so precise. Like, I have to have everything planned out. You know, like I'm going to take a baby step and I'm going to do it.
Dude, I love that, because for me, it's like, there's those days I just want to give up, and it's like, fuck, man. But then it's like, and there's times where I feel like so shitty. It's like I don't want to live anymore. And it's like, you don't want to think like that.
Yeah.
And when I start thinking like that, it's like,
But we all get that way. I guarantee
everybody?
it. I get that way too. Like, I'm single.
Yeah.
I've been single for so long. It's like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, how come you don't have a girlfriend? And how come you're not with anybody? It's like, I don't know. I don't put myself out there. I don't go out looking for it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I like my freedom. I like the ability to just be dependent on myself, being selfish again, but this way I'm not affecting anybody. I'm being honest about it. Like, I like to travel. I like to be out and about and do the things that I want to do. I'd rather spend time with my boys or my, ollie and go tow, surf, paddle, travel, do whatever. And if I have a partner that is going to be doing the same things that I'm doing, that'd be great. But I haven't met her yet. I don't know where she is or what's going on.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like,
Yeah.
really? Am I going to be alone for the rest of my life? My ex-wife once said that. You're going to be alone until you die because you're so bad at being a husband, And so that kind of haunts me. But
Maybe she was right at the time, but you aren't the same person then.
I'm not the same person. And she knows that too. That's why we actually had dinner for the first time together as a family.
I saw a picture.
My son's 16th birthday. We were all together for the very first time with her husband and everything. It was absolutely priceless. That was like a milestone in my life. That told me that she trusts me, that she respects me, that she honors me as a father, and she appreciates me. When she asked me to have dinner with them, I actually started crying when I got the text. I was just like, whoa, I was blown away. Like, I actually, felt like, I don't know, it was a priceless moment. I'm just going back thinking about it. It's like, it took a long time, but it worked. A lot of couples, when they break up, they don't know how to get there, and for obvious reasons, some people have it more difficult than others.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's good for my kids. Evan's 22, Jake's 16, so they can see that. It's one less thing for them to have to worry about as young adults growing up in this world. They can, in the past, they're all, Dad, what do you mean you want to hang out with us? Why do you want to hang out with us all together? I go, because we're all family. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's just go hang out. They'll, no, that's weird. You mom and dad are divorced. You guys don't like each other. I go, no, that's not the way it's. I said, one day you'll see the light. So it came together. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really rad. I'm super stoked.
Yeah. I feel like everything kind of keeps coming back to surfing, because this is how this has all worked out for me. It's because I got that, shot with Kai Lenny, that barrel. And then just filming surfing was because that was what I like to do.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into this. And it's just like, you're right. Surfing is like the answer somehow. Like,
Well, it
is that
keeps you.
stupid?
It keeps you balanced. You know, it's your outlet. It's a healthy way of living life if you're a surfer. But it goes along with any sport that you do. You know, that's just
get that mic in
that defines who you are. You know, when it comes like surfing defines me as, you know, that's my element. That's where I feel most comfortable. That's where I feel most alive when I'm out there on giant days, putting it on the line.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather be doing that than sitting on the couch, drinking a beer, wondering, wishing, dreaming, because that's not the way of life. That's an awful way to live. You need to get out and move.
Yeah.
Make shit happen. Keep the dream alive.
Sarah Bishop says, she says, I'm single, 51, and I totally get it.
Yeah, you do get it, Sarah. Thanks for
awesome.
tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been great. Don't forget to follow Eric on Instagram, Toe Surfer, and then he's also on YouTube, Toe Surfer Network. You know, subscribe, and then don't forget to hit the like button on Casey Studios PNW Surfing channel here. This is actually my podcast, my Talk to Monster podcast. I just thought that Eric should be on the
You busted my cherry today on the podcast, by the way. This is my first podcast. I've been doing a lot of firsts lately.
Yeah, this is good, man.
This is pretty good.
See, you're the whole single thing, right? Yeah, it's perfect time to let loose and try things out, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
But you're really good at what you do, so I appreciate you. You know?
Thanks, man.
You, me, and Ollie have a good thing going on right now.
Yeah, so Eric has been driving primarily. He had an injury, so he wasn't doing so much surfing.
I had knee surgery last year. Yeah, so I was driving.
And then Ollie's been surfing, and I've been filming, and we're doing this. We're just created this really cool team, and we're just really dialed in, and we're getting some sick shots. We're going to have a cool edit we're going to put together. Eric's got his GoPro in his mouth with his 5K footage, and
yeah,
I'm almost hitting him with the drone, and it's
driving through the beach break, getting air. It's
all about the air, man. We got to come with like a. My buddy Speakman has this term with his buddy back from Maui and back in the day: boobs, tubes, and doobs. You know, we got to think of something like that.
No doobs.
No doobs. Just tubes and doobs.
Just tubes and doobs.
I mean, tubes and boobs. But that was like, you know, back in the
Put
60s.
the drink down, Casey.
I don't know. This is non-alcoholic. It's bubbly. I've totally sober.
Yeah, I want to do a shout out to Mike Jones from As High As I Am in Morro Bay, best apparel wear company. Grassroots for 20 years. We've been good friends. He's been very supportive of toesurfer.com. And yeah, thanks, Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey.
And Ollie, real deal. The ambassador of Stoke.
Yeah, dude. Like, seriously, he calls himself the tube doctor. And I don't know what it is, but he's just been on. He's been on lately. I've seen him get more barrels in the last, like, I don't know how many
24
sessions.
Hours? It's because of my driving. Hello.
That's right.
You'll see it on the GoPro clips.
Dude. Yeah, well, you are driving really, really good. Like, I mean, because I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, now I'm following you guys. I'm not just going for the waves.
I could have actually put my arm out and grabbed the drone the other day. It was so close. I could hear the blades just going.
Slow motion.
I'm like, wait a minute, where are you going? Don't follow Ollie, follow me.
It's so funny when I actually see you look up at the drone. You're like looking at me, looking at you.
Yeah. Well, I had that GoPro in my mouth, so I wanted to capture that moment. That was really cool.
And we looked at the shot earlier, and the drone's with that super duper wide angle. It's like 16 millimeters. It's ultra wide. Everything looks far away unless it's actually close. Yeah. And the drone's actually close. And you're right
Super
there.
Super close, yeah.
No, I'm going to cut back and forth for the edit. It's going to be great. We recorded some really cool clips before we started the podcast. I want to interlace
now
that
we just
in.
have to do that on South Reef or Nelscott when it's like 50, 60 foot. We need to get the drone so close.
Oh, you know how hard it was though last time? When it was like so freaking like the visibility
Well, you're a mile offshore, number one. There's a lot of wind out there, so it's got to be very difficult driving that thing. Well, piloting.
I mean, ideally in the future, there'd be some way where I could get out on a separate ski, and then we'd be like following on a ski. Like, you'd have to have. It's like that would be like the way you do it for like a movie.
Baby
like
steps.
You're right. Baby
steps.
See, that's the thing. if I was making enough money, extra money, successful enough, I buy a ski, pay a driver.
I'm for hire.
I would hire you. Definitely hire this guy. Anybody needs a ski driver. He's got the ski. His ski's got music too.
Yeah. Bluetooth.
So you can ball.
Wireless.
Is that the right word? Ball? Are you a baller?
I'm a baller.
You're a baller.
It's a Lambo.
The question
My
is...
son would call it a Lambo ski. The tech nerd that he is.
It looked like a freaking Lambo. It's so sick. I can't even... Like, you have like the best ski that you
on
can
the West
get
Coast.
right now.
Yeah, I do.
Like, you can't get a nicer ski than that.
Yeah, well, there's like 35 grand in it with all the equipment and everything that I have. Yeah.
And I don't want to make Eric sound like, oh, he's some rich asshole dude.
I'm not. I'm poor, actually.
He has never...
Have you seen the stock market in the last 12 months? I'm about 80% down the hole.
You just got to wait. It always comes back.
Yeah, long hold. Long hold down.
Is it hodl?
Hodl. They're all, what's hodl? What's Bitcoin?
Oh, Bitcoin.
What's NFT? What's bears with claws?
I had a buddy tell me to buy Bitcoin was $400. He's like, dude, it's going to go to $1 million.
It is.
And then like I knew about Bitcoin when it was like $100 or something.
Bitcoin's going down to 10 grand first week in December. Mark my words.
Seriously?
That's the next buy.
Okay.
Trust me.
I've been thinking about buying some more. So if you go on the Bitcoin,
you know about my son. So trust me, he knows.
I might have to get connected with him.
He knows.
I gotta know what's up because
you're gonna buy in at 10, and it's gonna go back up to about 200 in 2025, and that's the next halving. So then it's gonna
200K.
Yeah. So we're in the winter time right now, crypto winter, but we're gonna come out of it here. So
crypto winter.
Yeah. Luckily, I can learn all this stuff from my kid. He's a nerd.
Yeah, that's a good person to be.
He's a good nerd though. A smart one.
I wanted to get into mining Bitcoin, but unfortunately, it's too late.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Like you need like a house full of computers and a jillion gigabolts of
so I'm poor.
Electricity.
Basically, I sell cars for a living, and I save my money so that I can surf all winter and buy a nice ski. I'd rather have a nice ski than a nice car.
Yeah, I'm the same, dude. Like that's how I am. Like I bought all this stuff, and I don't have any money left.
So where do you see yourself at 60?
Well,
that's not a baby step. That's a huge leap.
That's a huge leap.
Yeah.
If I can listen to like your advice and take baby steps, I know that I will be like successful somehow at this. Like I've seen how it works, and like when I'm up, when I'm in a winning headspace,
yeah,
like especially just going back like 6 years from now, like exponentially grows.
You got an amazing setup here. I mean, I'm looking at everything. You got cameras everywhere. You got wires everywhere. You got phones. You got laptops, desktops, mics, headsets. Everything sounds good. Oh.
I need a body though. I need a body over here. I need the money to pay somebody because otherwise they need.
No, but that's okay though. You're working through it. Like you're doing this on your own, and hopefully this is coming across to the viewers in a professional manner, and everything sounds good and looks good. But I'm stoked for you. I'm proud of you. Just you got to keep pursuing your craft and what it is that you want to do, but don't settle for less. Like I'm 62 and I'm not satisfied because I know there's more out there for me, and I don't know what that is, but I know it has to do with surfing, big waves. That's where I'm headed, and if I can inspire somebody along the way, which I know I do every single day, because when they say, what? You're 62 and you're doing what? That's God working through me, right?
Yeah,
keeping me healthy. So
you seem pretty damn healthy, man. You look good.
Thank you.
Like you look thin. Like you got to build. You work out, or what do you do?
Well, no, I do. I cut meat out after I had my heart attack. 5 years ago, 6 years ago. All meat. No chick, nothing. I only eat fish.
Okay, fish.
So, I'm a vegetarian. I eat lots of vegetables, lots of fish, nuts, fruit.
Yeah.
I have my cheat sessions for sure. Chocolate, ice cream, carbs. I love my bread. Don't eat cheese, but, I try to do what I can. I'm not a laird. I don't hold my breath every day for 5 hours under the pool and get into ice tubs. The guy's an animal, right? Laird's an animal. Hello. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine,
Yeah.
And these guys, Jamie Mitchell and everybody in Hawaii doing these 7-mile sprints every morning. It's like, I can't even come up Otter Rock for the staircase. Without huffing and puffing.
I just started CrossFit, man.
Yeah.
About 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
Yeah.
Like I want to get like super strong, so I go out in the water. I'm not like dogging it.
Just got to keep moving though.
Feel
right?
good.
You feel good.
Feel
Whatever
good.
it is that you're doing, even if you're just going for a walk, go for an hour-long walk and just get away, get out there, just move. If you're capable of doing it physically, get off your ass and move. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you're getting me stoked, dude.
Stoked.
I'm about to go after this too. Like after we're done, we're gonna go
Don't
to a
forget
meeting.
to drink lots of water.
Lots of water. We're gonna go to the meeting and talk about surfing again.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully I inspired you in this little podcast to keep you moving and stay positive and
Baby steps, man. Like that's gonna ring through my head because
baby steps.
Like, I mean, because like
it's so much easier to achieve a goal when you got just a little one ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and you told me you're a car salesman before.
Yeah.
And it's like, but when I hear about you as a car salesman, I don't just think of a car salesman. I think of a successful car salesman. Like didn't you win the best award for selling the most cars?
Yeah,
the most.
I made the biggest paycheck ever in the history of our dealership like 2 years ago, and I've done it twice since then.
That was baby steps.
That was baby steps,
right?
Yeah. But see, I have a light switch in my head. I have the ability to turn it on or turn it off. So when I say I'm going to do something and everybody knows me for this, you can rely and depend on Eric Akiskalian because he will pull through and he will come ahead, number one, every single time. But I don't do it very often, But when I sell cars, I go, okay, I'm going to have a huge month. Everyone's like, oh, fuck. Eric's going into freaking overdrive. Watch out. Yeah. We're not going to see Eric for 3 months after this paycheck. So
he's gone. He's going surfing.
That's what I did in September. This is my last paycheck. I'm taking 4 months off. I'm taking hiatus. They're all, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm going surfing. I'm going to go live life. I'm 60 years old. What I'm going to do? Keep selling cars? This is semi-retirement, I mean, I want to go back to Portugal. I want to hang out there for a month. That's my goal. And I want to get Big South Reef and Del Scott Reef and do some water safety rescue at MAMS with the Drake guys. That's the goal for the winter.
Yeah.
And maybe teach some people a few things and pass on the knowledge and make the ocean a safer place for everybody. Because definitely, it's risk assessment and management is very important when we get into the environment of big waves and everything that comes with it, especially on the Oregon coast. Right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like
there's nothing like it. Oregon is badass, with the logs and the surges and the currents and everybody. I mean, the bystanders that get pulled and swept away and die every year. Like they're absolutely clueless.
Dude, I saw this little old lady, like with some friends. Like water came in, knocked her down. She was on her knees, just like this.
Yeah.
Reaching for her friends. She could.
Yeah.
She was just like.
No, it's crazy, dude.
They weren't paying any attention. I'm
Yeah.
like up on the cliff looking down.
No,
It's like
you
I
see
could hit her with a
family.
drone. I
Yeah, you
couldn't do
see
anything.
families on the beach jumping on logs and whatnot on a really big day when the tide's low, and they have no idea that there's a 2-foot surge ready to come up and sweep everything away up to the cliffs. I've had to scream at families before.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I was ready to go do a rescue on the beach. So yeah, people need to be aware of their surroundings. Super important. If you're here in Oregon, if you're visiting, this is the time of year where things go bad really fast. It's not a matter of if, but when, and when it will happen at any moment.
Yeah. Looks like Sarah Bishop says buying now is a good thing if you have the funds. I agree.
I agree.
I've been getting the free, if you have the Coinbase app, you can just take these little quizzes and they just give you money for free. And I'm like, if that $1 or $3 turns into like $6 because Bitcoin doubles, then I'm making money here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Dude, I really appreciate you coming on. Like, this has been, this is all, I really think this conversation turned into some sort of awesome, amazing conversation.
Yeah, and if you can bring a guest on who will share and be transparent in a way that will deliver something to your audience that'll captivate them and that will, help somebody. I think that should be the goal of a host of a talk show or a podcast, is to give it some kind of merit in that direction for whatever it's worth. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I know that when you have something to give, people are more receptive to it. So you're doing a great job. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I really appreciate it, man. And
yeah.
We started a little bit early, and I got happy birthday from my girlfriend. She says, "Happy birthday,
happy birthday!" Hey,
Yeah.
you got a girlfriend? Good for you.
I do. Yeah, man. She's been really supportive. She's actually come and helped me film you guys a couple of times.
Oh, cool.
Like she's come and been my helper. You know,
Awesome.
Like she goes, runs up the stairs, just plug the battery in, comes back, and she just hangs out on her phone. Yeah, it's pretty special. Yeah, she's like very tolerant of me. Because I can be.
You're an easy guy.
You know, you're not my girlfriend.
No, but I'm your friend, and you're easy to get along with. So I can. You got good. You have good character.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah,
it takes a good character guy to know one. So
yeah, well, surround yourself with positive people. That's all you want. That's what you need to do in life, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, I think we're gonna wrap this up. So thanks for coming on, Eric.
I got one last phrase. Keep the